Tonight on CTV News at 6, police say a cyclist was intentionally hit with a vehicle. The video posted to social media as the victim recovers in hospital. After several deaths in Edmonton, a push to make new riders more ready for the road.
There's so much more that goes into riding than just getting your license.
And with the Riverhawks in the playoffs, a look at and listen to the songs that helped get them there.
I'm really high energy, so I wanted something with a lot of pace.
After a couple of cool and soggy days, there's a warming trend coming. Temperatures back into the mid-20s this weekend.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. A cyclist is in hospital, and Edmonton police are looking for witnesses after they say a driver intentionally drove into him. Police also say a passenger in the car took a video and posted it to social media. Laughter can be heard in the video as the cyclist is hit. The collision happened around 3:30 Monday morning near 42nd Street and 113th Ave in the Beverly Heights. The cyclist was taken to hospital where he remains in stable condition. Police believe a dark-colored SUV seen driving erratically in the area hit him. They want witnesses or anyone with dash cam or home security footage taken between 2 and 3:30 a.m. on Monday to contact police. Police have tracked down a car they believe was involved in a deadly hit-and-run last year. Police say someone was driving this blue 2017 Mazda 3 when they hit and killed a 13-year-old cyclist in southeast Edmonton. It happened in May of last year near 48th Street and 34th Avenue. Police say thanks to tips from the public, the damaged Mazda was found at a repair shop in Edmonton. Police are still searching for the driver. The organizer of a motorcycle memorial group says more needs to be done to ensure new riders are ready to hit the road. He puts up the so-called ghost bikes at crash sites where riders have died. As Nairman Issa reports, his latest was set up just a few days ago.
In loving memory, Josh Verbeck.
A ghost bike has been set up at this busy North Edmonton intersection. Corey Bacon installs them at the sites of fatal motorcycle crashes. He runs a memorial page for victims.
We didn't think it would become as big as it has. We just started it as a small page just to help memorialize people.
The bike is in honor of a 25-year-old man killed in a crash at the end of July.
I don't know, it's hard to describe what you feel when you see that another rider's passed away. You just hope it wasn't someone who was very young that had a long life to live yet.
There have been 7 deadly motorcycle crashes this year in Edmonton, already matching last year's total.
You wonder what mistakes were made, obviously, to try and educate other people so that they won't make the same mistake that happened.
Bacon, who has been riding for 37 years, says more needs to be done to get riders ready for the road.
When you get your license, it's just the very basics of how to operate a motorcycle. There's so much more that goes into riding than just getting your license.
He believes there should be a mandatory mentorship program, a sentiment shared by Leroy Victor, who started a business doing just that.
And I actually had an accident and a few close calls when I was still learning. And it made me realize that you don't know what you don't know.
He helps riders who have their Class 6 license feel more confident when behind the handlebars.
The inception of Moto Instincts was to bridge the gap between learning how to actually ride and being a competent rider with all the hard knock style learning in the middle that can happen.
As for the ghost bikes, Bacon hopes another one isn't needed anytime soon.
This one will stay here until it's needed at another site, I guess. That would be hopefully no more crashes.
A reminder for all on the road to watch out for one another. Nairman Issa, CTV News, Edmonton.
New collision reporting centers are opening outside of Edmonton. A center is planned for Sherwood Park at 911 Bison Way beside the Strathcona County RCMP building. It's expected to open next spring. An additional collision center will open in Airdrie, north of Calgary. It's scheduled to open in September. A spokesperson says it will help take some pressure off police in those cities.
It alleviates work and admin for all the police entities, right? So, I mean, if you have 5 to 10 or 15 officers that are doing and taking these collision reports right now, wouldn't you rather see those officers have availability out on the streets, you know, doing investigations for major crimes.
2 collision centers have been operating in North and South Edmonton for 3 years in partnership with the Edmonton Police. The province is appealing the temporary injunction of its law banning doctors from providing gender-affirming care to youth. In June, the judge found Bill 26 would cause irreparable harm to young and gender-diverse people in Alberta and reinforce the discrimination and prejudice they already face. The province is now arguing the injunction was premature since the law wasn't fully in effect. It also claims the judge made a mistake deciding it would cause irreparable harm. Egal Canada is the organization challenging the law. It says it respects the province's right to appeal, but believes the judge made the right decision. Edmonton doctors are warning about an uptick in hand, foot, and mouth disease. The common viral infection causes a rash of blisters on different parts of the body. With the school year fast approaching, CTV's Nav Sangha has some tips for parents and children to stay safe.
There are outbreaks in a lot of places right now, unfortunately.
ER Dr. Shazma Mathani has noticed a spike in hand, foot, and mouth disease cases recently.
I've seen, at least 1 or 2 per shift, and then my colleagues are seeing it as well.
She says cases commonly flare up in late summer and early fall.
And as the school year starts, we can see more transmission of cases as kids go back to school, and then it tends to kind of peter off after that.
Hand, foot, and mouth disease is a common viral infection, causing painful red blisters in the throat, mouth, hands, and feet.
Other things that you can see in addition to the rash are things like a fever. Sometimes you can get a bit of a runny nose, and then diarrhea can be common with hand, foot, and mouth disease as well.
Toddlers and young children are most at risk.
It was my daughter, and she was probably about 11 months old when she got it. And it was under her feet, behind her knees, on her hands, inside her mouth. It was not a fun experience.
But it can also spread to adults because it is highly contagious.
Our daughter has had hand, foot, and mouth before, and then I ended up catching it from her as well. And it's actually worse in adults than in children.
Most children will recover within 7 to 10 days. Dr. Mathani says parents should focus on managing symptoms.
Making sure pain is controlled with medications like acetaminophen or ibuprofen, making sure that fever is controlled with that as well, and then keeping up with fluids with your child.
And ensure they don't spread the disease.
And it's the best way to prevent spread. A, keep your kid at home if they're sick or unwell, and then B, lots and lots of hand hygiene and hand washing as well.
Both the Edmonton Public and Catholic School Divisions say families should keep their children home if they show any signs of illness. In the event of an outbreak, they follow AHS guidelines to limit the spread. Nav Sangha, CTV News, Edmonton.
Up-and-coming musicians are getting a leg up from MacEwan University.
My physiotherapist calls me bro. My gaming watching Melee is one way you can watch me grow.
We do have a really amazing music program here, so we're kind of taking a lot of that material and condensing it into a really intensive 2-week incubator.
18 emerging artists are getting the opportunity to learn from MacEwan's best this summer. The program was created for people who may not be able to afford a formal education in music. Participants get a chance to network, write songs, and use a state-of-the-art recording studio. The program director says beyond the basics, it's teaching artists the business side of music so they can create sustainable careers in an often noisy market.
Part of the program, too, is helping people realize, how to monetize your art, how to find avenues to make it sustainable so that you can still put food on the table, which is a growing challenge. These days, artists have to be everything. They have to be performers, they have to be their own managers, they have to be their tour drivers, their accountants. They're doing it all.
I've learned some insight as to royalties and rights within the music. Grant writing goes, grant applications go, and meeting other artists within the community as well.
Each artist walks away with a fully produced demo of a new song. The Edmonton Riverhawks are walking up the West Coast League standings. The Hawks clinched first in the North Division, and tonight marks their first playoff game in Victoria. The players are finding their rhythm thanks in part to the music played during the games. As Evan Kenny explains, the music is also a way to show off their personalities.
Some baseball players love showing off their swagger with their swings, their bling, and who sings. Players with the Edmonton Riverhawks have some superstitions of their own. Reese Devlin likes to feel the hype when he enters the game.
I'm really high energy, so I wanted something with a lot of pace.
When he's walking to the batter's box or pitching mound, the ball diamond blares Chip by the real Mackenzies.
We pitch off adrenaline, and that's one of the ones where I hear that song, especially here in front of a couple thousand fans. My adrenaline starts to get going, and it helps me throw.
Spencer Mueller also likes the beat of the drums and strum of the guitar when he's playing. He's chosen Spirit in the Sky by Norman Greenbaum, a song that shows his religious background.
In front of all these people, it's cool to be able to illustrate myself on the mound and also be able to represent why I'm here and who I'm here for.
Both players love that in this team sport, it's a way they can show off their individuality.
So I live my life by.
It reflects how they play.
And if their play begins to slump, a new walkout song could change the tune of their season. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Hawks head to Remax Field for Game 2 tomorrow night. The third annual Ice District 3-on-3 ball hockey tournament made its return to downtown Edmonton today. The three-day event features teams of all ages and skill levels. The tournament gives Edmonton hockey fans a chance to return to the Ice District in the middle of the NHL offseason.
We've got 52 teams here, over 600 kids between U7 and U15. It's just a great event for kids to come downtown, have some fun, play some ball hockey, and our great venue. The weather's not great today, but we got a tent set up, and everyone's having a blast.
The tournament runs until Sunday afternoon. Cariwest Festival is just getting started tonight downtown for a weekend of celebrating Caribbean culture. For the next 3 days, the Caribbean Art Festival will take over Churchill Square. Organizers say it's Western Canada's largest Caribbean festival. Events include a costume extravaganza competition and the Cariwest Parade. The festival president says there is excitement in the air ahead of the parade tomorrow.
I think it's the energy that it brings. It's vibrant and very colorful, displays a lot of energy and excitement. And, the closer we get to it, everybody just feels this, bubbling of joy.
The celebration wraps up on Sunday. Hey, Josh, lots of rain today. How about tonight?
No, I think most of the early evening should be dry. There's a slight chance around 9 o'clock tonight you might see a scattered shower, but it won't be anything as consistent as what we had through this morning. Kind of broke down to just hit and miss showers around the region through this afternoon. We actually managed to make it to 21 for a daytime high. 20 in downtown Edmonton right now. Still a little breezy. Wind out of the north, 15 gusting to almost 30 kilometers per hour. 2 degrees cooler than average for the high. 2 degrees above average for the morning low as the cloud cover and the precipitation overnight last night and early this morning held temperatures up a little bit. I think we'll be in the same ballpark for a morning low tomorrow, but should be a handful of degrees warmer in the afternoon, back above average and back into the mid-20s for an afternoon high. Lots of thunderstorm activity in southeastern Alberta. You've got some thunderstorms as well off to the northeast and to the west of Edmonton, although you notice in between those two areas, there's your break in the cloud cover and precipitation for Edmonton. So for the next couple of hours, things look dry. We've got some sunshine breaking through the clouds. If anything is going to come through, it's not the echoes off to the west or the east. It's that stuff up around Athabasca and Westlock. And you can see it's not a lot of precipitation there. So a slight chance mid-evening to see a scattered shower in the area and then some clearing overnight tonight. We'll be under partly cloudy skies for most of the day tomorrow and into the mid-20s, about 24 or 25 for a daytime high. There is a slight chance of a late day shower or thunderstorm on Sunday. We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Josh. Stay with us. Coming up, Albertans begin casting ballots in a high-profile by-election.
I know he doesn't live in the riding, but the leader of the party really needs a seat in the House to do anything.
Mixed emotions from voters in the battle that will decide Pierre Poilievre's political fate. Also next.
Let's be aware that our backyard, our beautiful Canada, needs to be protected.
A pair of cougar cubs orphaned in Alberta get a second chance after a cross-country trip.
Southview Acura. For family-owned, award-winning excellence, Southview Acura, where luxury meets reality.
Advance voting has begun in the Battle River Crowfoot by-election. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is among more than 200 candidates on the ballot. Voters are having mixed feelings between the lengthy ballot and Poilievre's drop into the Alberta riding. CTV's Tyson Fedor has the latest.
Voters in Drumheller are at the ballot box writing in their preference for who they want to represent them in Ottawa.
I don't feel that a blind conservative mindset necessarily is best.
I know he doesn't live in the riding, but the leader of the party really needs a seat in the House to do anything, so that's where my vote went.
214 people are looking for this rural Alberta seat vacated by Conservative Damien Kirk after Pierre Poilievre lost his Ottawa area riding this spring. Elections Canada has decided to use an adapted ballot due to the number of names. The by-election is expected to cost about $2 million.
They've targeted me in 2 different ridings now, and the reality is I don't have a problem with anyone who wants to run for office, even if they're not known or not wealthy. They should be able to put their name on the ballot if they truly want to run.
Many have criticized Poilievre for parachuting into the Battle River Crowfoot riding, a conservative stronghold, but others support the leader.
He'll represent us. Yeah, I understand why people are saying, but I don't feel that way.
I think there's a lot of people in this riding that want to see change, and then I also see a lot of people that are just angry at Pierre for picking our riding.
We're not going to see him. He's not going to do anything for us here.
The leader of the United Party of Canada says he is running to offer an alternative for conservative voters, advocating for change and less Ottawa in Alberta.
It's really more about an independent Alberta versus continuing with Ottawa being in our lane, and this discussion about Pierre Poilievre's version of sovereignty.
While political experts believe Poilievre will win this race, but expect voter turnout to be low.
He will nonetheless interpret it as if he had just walked across the Atlantic Ocean without getting his feet wet.
Nobody's expecting him to lose the by-election, but if he doesn't win it by close to 83%, then questions are going to start being raised.
Questions on whether Poilievre is the right person to lead the Conservatives forward.
2 cougar cubs from Alberta have been given a second chance. Earlier this year, the pair was orphaned. Now they've been taken in by a Quebec zoo. CTV's Christine Long reports.
In February of this year in Alberta, a mother cougar was shot, leaving behind her babies, says Parc Safari CEO Serge Lucier.
Out in the wild, they will die. They can't survive. I have 2 options. The provincial law says animals from the wild that cannot survive can be placed in an accredited zoological institution, CASA, for instance, as we are, or euthanized. We don't want to euthanize them.
He called on the Calgary and Vancouver zoos to hold the cubs while Parc Safari revamped an enclosure for the siblings, who seem to be settling in, says Lucier.
Female, a little more shy. Her security is her brother. That will change in time, right? That will change in time.
He adds that cougars are not an endangered species, yet certainly more rare than they used to be.
There used to be cougars all over eastern Canada. There's none in Ontario or Quebec. There's none east. There's none in eastern United States anymore. They used to be all over, right? Only out west. But let's protect what's left.
Parc Safari has a naming contest for the 2 new residents to encourage families to get involved and learn more about these big, beautiful cats.
Let's be aware that our backyard, our beautiful Canada, needs to be protected.
Parc Safari is open 12 months a year for visits, but nap time on a hot day means these cubs are usually just chilling. Christine Long, CTV News.
Coming up next, a teen taking the tennis world by storm.
It was kind of a surreal experience.
Look at her unexpected rise and the obstacles she faced to take the National Bank Open title.
A little bit of sunshine breaking through the clouds out there late this afternoon, and as we head into this evening, and there's more sun in the forecast for the weekend. Closer look at that right after the break.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. Programming brought to you by Century Casino, 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
The tennis world is buzzing after 18-year-old Victoria Mboko beat all expectations to win the title at the National Bank Open. CTV's John Vanavalley-Rao has more on her meteoric rise and what comes next.
For Victoria Mboko, it was a magical moment and the stunning end to a fairy tale run in Montreal.
I think when I had that winning moment and seeing so many people standing up and cheering for me, it was kind of a surreal experience.
Mboko taking the tennis world by storm after beating the former world #1 Naomi Osaka. Among the 4 Grand Slam champions, the 18-year-old unexpectedly bested to get to the top at the Canadian Open.
Honestly, I would have never believed that I was going to end up in this exact moment, so it's just amazing.
On social media, now retired Canadian tennis star Eugenie Bouchard simply writing, Vicky.
She was very passionate about playing.
In Burlington, Ontario, her former coach said Mboko started playing tennis when she was around 4 years old. And from the outset, he says her competitive spirit was notable, constantly wanting to beat her much older siblings.
Even from a tender age of 5 or 6, when she was on the court training, she was very locked in. Unusually so for somebody that young.
Mboko was born in North Carolina to Congolese parents, but grew up in Toronto, and until recently was largely unknown, getting a bit of attention in late May when she made it to the 3rd round of the French Open. This time last year, Mboko was ranked 351st in the world, but has now jumped to 24th and is the highest-ranked Canadian player, beating Osaka Thursday while playing with a wrist injury that had her at the hospital getting an MRI before that final match, making the win even more remarkable.
We've seen tennis players miss an entire season with a wrist injury.
Mboko will now take a few days off to look after that wrist and get ready for the U.S. Open, which begins in about 2 weeks. John Vanavalley-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Cloudy skies didn't cool down the action at Shalom Park today as the 2025 Canadian Water Ski Championships heat up. Today's action featured adaptive water skiing.
It's awesome that it accommodates a range of disabilities. Everyone kind of competes against the world record in their category, so it keeps it fair across the board. But also, it just celebrates the individual differences as well.
Just getting to be out and skiing and challenging myself, but then also for the community, especially in adaptive, it's a really great community, even though, we're all competing, but we all know that we're competing against the odds of a lot of other things.
Next up, Team Canada is taking 4 adaptive skiers to Worlds in Australia in November. And the day was especially exciting for adaptive skier Blake LaMontagne. The Saskatchewan man set a pending world record in the MP3 trick category, scoring 1,480 points. It surpasses his own record of 1,440 set back in 2023. Josh, a couple of wet days, but better weather ahead, just in time for the weekend.
Yeah, you got some moisture yesterday and today, and now it can get sunny and heat up again.
Like you planned it.
Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, it doesn't always work out this way on weekends. Take a look outside right now with the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace fixed right, it's free. 20 degrees. After hitting a high of 21 earlier this afternoon, 21 as well in Fort McMurray. Look at this, high level, 29 degrees. 10 degrees warmer in high level than it was in Red Deer this afternoon. Grand Prairie got to 27 as well. It's been awfully smoky. In fact, you have air quality warnings from Fort McMurray south to St. Paul in the high to very high risk range on the Air Quality Health Index. And we saw conditions drop into the 4s and 5s, moderate risk in the Edmonton area. It didn't seem all that bad. Maybe because of the scattered showers that we had earlier in the day, kind of knocking some of that smoke out. Any smoke that is lingering around the Edmonton region will be gone by early tomorrow morning. Watch how this pushes back off to the east. It came from Saskatchewan, and it's headed back to Saskatchewan. There's tomorrow morning, starting to clear out in the Edmonton area and east of the city. Still pretty thick smoke for east central and northeastern Alberta tomorrow morning. Conditions will gradually improve as the day goes on, and then by Sunday morning, it's all back into Saskatchewan as skies clear across the entire province. No severe thunderstorm watches or warnings in the city, just as we said, that air quality advisory advisory in effect for the Fort McMurray Cold Lake regions, as well as there's been a funnel cloud advisory for areas just east of Edmonton, off into east central Alberta, but haven't seen any reports of funnel clouds. And the risk of tornadoes has been really low through the day today. There's your scattered thunderstorms from Lac La Biche down through the St. Paul region. You can see how it's breaking around the Edmonton area, and then back further to the west, some scattered showers and thunderstorms. This will all stay east of the city. This will all stay west of the city. It's this stuff right here, and it is kind of breaking down as it drops to the south, but that's the only shower activity that potentially has a chance to roll through the Edmonton region. And if it does, it will be somewhere around 9 o'clock and really scattered and light in nature. There's your low pressure system, so everything's spinning around that, and now coming from the north and moving to the south. Eventually, it'll gradually move further east as that low pulls further away. So by tomorrow morning, skies are clearing here in the Edmonton area. Mainly sunny to partly cloudy tomorrow afternoon in Edmonton, but eastern Alberta, you can see another chance of some late day showers and thunderstorms. And then a mix of sun and cloud for Sunday. So a little cloudier Sunday here in the city than it will be tomorrow. Best chance for showers and thunderstorms will be to the north, through the Peace Country, Slave Lake, Fort McMurray areas, but around the Edmonton region, I put a slight chance of a hit and miss shower or thunderstorm in the forecast for supper time or early evening. Temperatures right now sitting at 20 in Edmonton, still in the mid to upper 20s in the northwest. Lloydminster at 18 degrees. We'll be in that 17, 18 degree range at about 9 o'clock tonight. Slight chance of a scattered shower around 9 p.m., then some clearing overnight, and a high of 24, 25 tomorrow afternoon. Should be in the mid-20s again Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Slight risk of a late day shower or thunderstorm on Sunday, and then a better chance for some showers Tuesday evening, which leads to another cool down for the middle to the end of next week.
Thank you, Josh. Stay with us. Coming up, a difficult market.
Hiring this summer has been difficult.
Why the job market is getting even tougher for young Canadians. Also next.
It's complicated. It's actually nothing easy. It's very complicated.
Donald Trump says he expects concessions from both sides as he plans to meet with Russia's president about a ceasefire in Ukraine.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. Help make history this summer with the world's largest egg and spoon race, August 30th in Vegreville. Registration is now open.
Canada's latest jobs numbers show a tough market for many Canadians, especially younger people. 41,000 jobs were lost in July, driven largely by people in their late teens and early 20s. CTV's Abigail Beeman has the latest economic snapshot.
Noah Kelly has been applying everywhere with no luck, and the timing is urgent.
I'm getting evicted because I lost my job, my last job, and now I can't make my rent.
The unemployment rate for those 15 to 24 hit 14.6 in July. That's the highest since 2010, excluding 2 COVID years.
It's been incredibly difficult to find a job, especially as a person who doesn't have experience previously.
Overall, there were 41,000 job losses in July compared to 83,000 gains in June. Hardest hit, full-time workers, down 51,000. The Prime Minister pointed to wage growth as a good sign.
That, combined with the tax cut that we put in place, combined with the removal of the consumer carbon tax and other measures, progress on cost of living. Just to be clear, progress. We're not satisfied that that's enough. There's much more that needs to be done.
But these government workers involved in student hiring say Mark Carney's looming savings targets are already making a difference in their departments.
Hiring this summer has been difficult. You have to look at every specific detail and make sure that this student can be funded.
Less departments are interested because they have less money, they have to cut spending.
Perhaps surprisingly, with the trade war, manufacturing jobs didn't see a big hit, with RBC economists saying CUSMA has softened the blow.
Things are definitely softer. This is not an ideal environment by any sense, but perhaps it's just not as severe of a shock as, what was feared earlier in the spring.
RBC cautiously optimistic that unemployment rate will peak soon, around 7%, and also predicting no further interest rate cuts from the Bank of Canada. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
The federal government is spending $2 billion to give soldiers a pay raise. The Prime Minister says it's to keep them in the military and recruit new members. As CTV's Judy Trin tells us, Canada is still short thousands of troops.
All members of the Canadian Armed Forces will receive a pay raise.
In front of a wall of soldiers at the country's largest Air Force base, the Prime Minister said it was time to recognize the worth of the Canadian Armed Forces.
These are the men and women we trust to wear the maple leaf, the Canadian flag, and to risk their lives for it. Their pay, your pay, should reflect the weight of your responsibilities.
The government will spend $2 billion to increase the salaries for the rank and file. Non-commissioned officers will see raises of between 8 and 20%. An entry-level soldier will now get an additional $700 a month and earn more than $52,000 a year. After he met with soldiers at CFB Trenton, the Prime Minister said better compensation was needed to recruit and retain soldiers to meet current global challenges, not just Russia and China, but also climate change.
The Arctic's melting. Our wildfires and floods are more frequent and devastating. And these are all threats to which the Canadian Armed Forces responds.
For the first time, soldiers will get daily bonus pay when they are deployed on domestic missions to help Canadians during natural disasters. Bonuses will also be given to officers who are deployed to serve in the Arctic and who are deployed overseas. Retention bonuses will also be offered for soldiers who take on additional training. The country's top soldier says this should allow Canada to make up a shortfall of more than 12,700 soldiers before 2030.
We have increased the target for recruits this year. We're at 7,600, which is about 1,000 more than last year. And this is how we are going to gain back to full strength.
Defense officials say this is the biggest pay raise for soldiers since 1998. It also contributes to Canada's commitment to making its 2% NATO target by the end of this fiscal year. Judy Trin, Canadian Forces Base, Trenton.
Israel says it plans to take over Gaza City despite growing international calls to end the 22-month conflict.
This action is not going to contribute to an improvement in the humanitarian situation on the ground.
Prime Minister Mark Carney condemned the plan today. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the move is needed in order to end the war with Hamas and rescue hostages. The takeover has been approved by the country's security cabinet. U.S. President Donald Trump says he plans to meet with Russia's president next week about a ceasefire in Ukraine. Trump says any deal to end the war will involve swapping territory.
It's complicated. It's actually nothing easy. It's very complicated, but we're going to get some back. We're going to get some switched. There'll be some swapping of territories to the betterment of both.
Trump will meet with Vladimir Putin in Alaska next Friday. Canada, the European Union, and the United Kingdom say they plan to lower the price cap for Russian oil. They say it will weaken Russia's ability to fund its war on Ukraine. The U.S. Vice President is facing criticism after the Secret Service raised water levels in a river to accommodate his family's kayaking trip. J.D. Vance's security detail requested more water flow into an Ohio river to make sure motorized boats could operate safely. Critics say it's a sign of entitlement, especially considering the Trump administration's focus on slashing government spending. A Vancouver man says he has learned a valuable lesson after someone stole his car when he momentarily left it running and unlocked. As CTV's Ben Milger reports, the thief went on a joyride through the city, and it was all caught on dash cam.
On foot, Michael Aresta chases his own stolen car down the street.
Here's the exact moment when I catch up to her here. I'm banging on the window. She speeds off. As you can see here, just no regard.
That's when the thief began to drive erratically, running multiple red lights, almost hitting cyclists here and a pedestrian here. She swerves around another car to drive through a bike lane. Here, she dodges oncoming traffic on the wrong side of the road before jumping the median and getting back on the right side.
I've had a chance to look at a video that is apparently related to this theft. We're still investigating it at this point, but the driving was atrocious. It was dangerous, it was selfish, it was needless to say, many people could have been hurt.
Aresta says he was only gone a moment when he left his car running and unlocked while ducking into a store on Abbott Street.
It was very quick, right? Just a minute and a half. I mean, it's a lesson learned for sure, right? A few seconds, a minute. Like, it's just not worth it, right? It could happen anywhere.
Vancouver police found the car abandoned and still running several hours later. After recovering the car and reviewing the dash cam footage, Vancouver police say they have identified a person of interest, but have not announced any arrests or charges.
And now we're slowing things down. Everyone's safe. We're trying to work backwards to ensure that we have the best evidence to give to Crown to support hopefully upcoming charges.
Aresta is grateful nothing tragic happened.
I watched that footage back and I was just so surprised that nobody was hurt.
Police still have Aresta's car in the impound yard, and he's been in touch with ICBC about next steps. Ben Milcher, CTV News, Vancouver.
Stay with us. Coming up, the history of an iconic construction company.
The company started 100 years ago, 1925, but they didn't start from scratch.
Celebrating a century of Caterpillar in Alberta.
Programming brought to you by Southview Acura. For family-owned, award-winning excellence, Southview Acura, where luxury meets reality.
Checking on the markets, the Canadian dollar sitting around 72 cents U.S. Oil held steady around $63 U.S. per barrel. Gold saw a $37 jump. On the stock market, the TSX lost 2 points. The Dow Jones gained 206 points on the day. Air Canada flight attendants will hold a National Day of Action Monday, rallying at airports across the country. The Flight Attendants Union and Air Canada returned to the bargaining table today. Union members voted overwhelmingly in favor of a strike mandate earlier this week. Flight attendants could walk off the job as early as next Saturday. Air Canada says it is not currently considering flight cancellations or postponements and is focused on reaching a deal. One man was injured while going down a water slide on the world's largest cruise ship when a panel on the slide broke.
Oh my God, someone just fell out of the slide. Oh my God.
Passengers could be heard shouting after an acrylic glass panel on the slide shattered. It happened on the Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas yesterday. Royal Caribbean says the man riding the slide did not fall through the hole. He received medical care for his injuries. The boat is expected to return to Miami tomorrow. The Red Deer Food Bank has partnered with a new app to provide delivery services. The app is called XP Eats. Delivery on the app costs an average of $5 to $6. After rolling out in Ontario, Red Deer is now the first place in Alberta to start using the app. Red Deer Food Bank says it will make its services more accessible to Red Deerians in need.
We recognize as the community gets bigger and our space and that we serve is bigger, it takes more to get people to and from the food bank. And so in this instance, people are able to get food basically for the cost of bus fare delivered to their home.
The app also provides discounted grocery options from local stores up to 50% off for either pickup or delivery. To sign up, you need a registration code from the food bank. Heavy-duty construction company Caterpillar is celebrating 100 years in business. CTV's Kevin Fleming reports.
Volunteers at Pioneer Acres are moving equipment around the property to get everything ready for their three-day event. It's the 55th annual show, and every year it features a different brand of machinery. This year it's celebrating a century of Caterpillar equipment.
The company started 100 years ago, 1925, but they didn't start from scratch. They were the merger between two competing companies, Holt and Best, and Mr. Holt had actually got a patent and invented the track system for the tractors. Because where he was selling tractors, they had the kind of soil that wheels didn't work very well on.
Ole Olson spent a career working on the big machines and remembers fixing one that was hit by a train. He says they were built well and are powerful.
The D8 there, you're looking at an engine that's probably, I'm not 100% sure, but it's probably it's over the 300 horse. But the torque on it is astronomical because of the tracks, the gearing. So yes, they got tons of power.
The museum also has about 40 antique trucks like this Ottawa with a cat engine that Harry Redding says is in perfect working condition.
Diesel engines in highway transport started in the late 20s, early 30s, but really didn't become popular until the 1950s. You started to see them more in transport trucks in the United States and here in Canada.
The museum covers a large area, and while it's filled with historic equipment, there are also other exhibits about southern Alberta farm life for visitors to learn about.
We have a wonderful Singer sewing machine display this year. There's an awesome quilting display. We have a bake sale, fresh baked buns. Yesterday, they were busy baking buns in the kitchen.
Organizers say there will be close to 5,000 people attend the event over 3 days. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, near Irricana.
Coming up, pulling back the curtain on Murdoch Mysteries.
Everybody's been so accommodating, and I mean, look at the place. It's fantastic.
A look behind the scenes of the long-running show as it puts Alberta history on display.
Stay with us. We've got another full night of great shows for you tonight on CTV.
A classic Canadian TV series is filming an episode in Alberta. CTV's Alicia Fieldberg visited the set of Murdoch Mysteries near Turner Valley.
Really happy to be in Alberta. I love it here.
Detective Murdoch and Chief Constable Brackenreed are normally in Toronto, but an upcoming episode takes them to the original Calgary Stampede back in 1912.
You shoot stuff here all the time, but for a different show from a different city to come here, everybody's been so accommodating, and I mean, look at the place. It's fantastic.
The 3-day production for the long-running Canadian series Murdoch Mysteries comes during a slower year for the Alberta film and TV industry. Experts say lucrative tax breaks in Europe play a big part, so opportunities like this are important.
Really important. The whole market has kind of shifted, and we're seeing more co-production and more Canadian production.
While some of the crew is from Toronto, there are more than 80 local union workers, including sound mixers, camera technicians, and costume staff. And they have a lot of experience with the Old West.
It's half an hour to just stress this hat.
Yeah, that one
make it look like it's from 1912.
The wonderful thing about the Calgary crew is they know how to do this.
Though filming a murder mystery can sometimes add to the workload.
We're going to be shooting somebody, so we had to buy him 4 different jackets.
Aside from the murder part, the episode will also highlight some real history, including Stampede founder Guy Wiedeck and rodeo champ Tom Three Persons.
Blessed to be able to be one of the shows that can actually tell part of that story and highlight some of the figures at the time and the people that actually competed, the people that organized.
It's an opportunity for this Calgarian, too. The teacher and Western history major was one of the more than 50 extras on set.
You know, rodeos weren't what we see today with the midway and the concessions and everything like that. It was a lot more scaled back and a lot more kind of the community. So it's really cool to see kind of what it would have actually been like and to give people a taste of that as well.
Audiences can get a taste of old-timey iconic Calgary when the episode comes out in January.
I get to ride a damn horse in this episode. Of course I do. Yeah, I'll need some help. Got to do a bit of roping, too.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Turner Valley.
We've got partly cloudy skies outside over the Edmonton area right now. There's a slight chance around 9 o'clock this evening you might see a scattered shower in a couple of neighborhoods. I think most, probably all the city stays dry tonight. Partly cloudy and 24 tomorrow as it starts to warm up again. Mid-20s for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Just a slight chance of supper time or early evening shower or thunderstorm. It's going to be pretty hit and miss on Sunday. Again, most of the city probably gets missed by that. Better chance for some showers Tuesday evening, and then things cool off for next week. Back closer to 20 for daytime highs by Thursday and Friday.
All right. Thank you, Josh. And thank you very much for sharing your time with us. For news anytime, visit our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca, or the CTV channel on YouTube. See you. Good night.